What's up, everybody, and welcome to Weekday Wagers Live on a Thursday. We're talking a lot of the Thursday night football game that is tonight with the Miami Dolphins going into Buffalo to take on those Buffalo Bills. Who knows who's going through a table tonight? But if you know a Bills fan, I would make sure you call them because they are probably the one going through a table as they celebrate, as they always do there in Buffalo before the games. But let's go ahead and continue and looking back at how we did yesterday. And looky, we got two check marks. A little Rafael Devers coming up because it's Day Devers and then the Valkyries. They did lose by 1 point. They're out of the playoffs, but a good first run by those Valkyries. They cashed that line for sure for us. But today on the show, it's me and Robbie, as always, taking on and dissecting all of what we have with the Thursday night football. There's a lot of line movement. Because of that, we have our guy, Rafael. But let me bring in my guy first. And this is Robbie Hockey. What's up, Rob?
What's up, DG? Man, it's Thursday. One more day of this week, and then we can get back to some more football on the weekend.
Yep, no doubt.
Big game tonight.
Very, very big game. And we'll definitely break all of that down. And we're going to start it with everybody's favorite numbers guy. He is the numbers guy. He's Rafael Esparza. What up, Rob?
Going on, just looking at some line movement right now. Sorry about that, but it's a Thursday. My phone's always beeping on a Thursday.
Nate, listen, whatever you got to do, we know you're important. We know you got to answer that phone call sometimes or check some text messages. So, hey, if you got to do it, you got to do it. It's only good for us, Raf. So it's okay.
That is true. I only try to use one phone. I have another phone that's like my personal one for like family emergencies and stuff like that. I try not to tie that up with my mom's calling, but I don't like to show my second phone. Those are like emergency phone.
Yeah. Make sure, keep that one. If it calls, somebody call, please answer it. We need to know what's going on. But all right, let's get to the game. And Rafael, I'm going to start with you here on this one. You've been a foe of the show, but now you are a friend of the show officially. And so let's get to this game. Tonight we have 11.5 on both sides. And we were talking before. I had no idea. I wouldn't say no idea. I wasn't sure why they would have a number, the odds on one side or the other, the exact same. So we're seeing now a lot of plus 11.5, minus 11.5, and it's both at minus 105. I'm looking right now at BetMGM, and that's where it's at. Why is it minus 105 on both sides?
That means they're getting really good two-way action on both sides. So it's almost like, hey, customer appreciation day. We'll throw out only a nickel when we're doing numbers. Because don't forget, it was 12.5 pretty much for the last 36 hours. So the money that they needed on either side, they probably got. So now they're just balancing it off, minus 105 on both sides. It would not shock me if they keep it at minus 105 out there. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens because Miami money's been coming in pretty much all day. I'm not saying I haven't seen any six-figure bets come in anywhere, but it has been on Miami. No money line on Miami. I guess no one has cojones for that, but Miami has come in.
All right, let's go to you, Rafael. Not you, Rafael. Robbie. God, y'all R's, man, are going to kill me here. But looking at these lines, 11.5, okay, that's obviously more than a touchdown and a field goal. You kind of have to have at least two touchdowns or a touchdown and two field goals. Do you like this number at all on either side?
Not in the NFL. You're talking college, maybe, but not the NFL. It's just way different game. And Dolphins are going to be playing for Mike McDaniel's life. I don't know if they care if Mike McDaniel's there or not. Just looking at the body language on the sidelines, why do they even care if he gets fired or not? I think Tyreek Hill might even be happy that he's gone.
Wow.
So I don't buy into that narrative that they're playing for their coach because if they were playing for their coach, they would have been starting at the beginning of the year and not right now.
Rafael, you doing any lines yet that might be who's the next Dolphins coach if Mike McDaniels gets fired?
We do have he's minus $7 to be the next head coach fired in the NFL. And if they lose, if they're getting creamed by the third quarter, I'm going to put odds out. Will he be fired over the weekend? I might pick a day. Like, will he be fired? It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can bet any day that he gets fired on. But I'll do next coaching odds for Miami probably sooner than I thought. And John Gruden will be probably a favorite. I have him as the favorite as the UCLA head coach. I have him as the favorite at Virginia Tech because everyone bets him. People know that he's going to be a coach sooner than later, so everyone bets him. So I'm just going to put John Gruden as the favorite for the Miami Dolphins.
I know we've talked about Mike McDaniels getting fired. That I have a prediction on when it could happen. Robbie, I believe you said, was it Thanksgiving?
Before Halloween.
Or Halloween.
Mark took Thanksgiving. Yeah, I said he wouldn't make it to Halloween.
When do you see it, Raphael? What's your holiday? Because these two goobers picked a holiday for him to get fired on, a set date. When do you see him gone?
Before.
His seat was hot before the season started. So let's say if they lose by double digits tonight, I think they get rid of him this weekend. I think they get rid of him. If it's an embarrassment, then I think they get rid of him this weekend.
Wow. All right. Let's say they hang in and lose by 10 points. Do you think that they hold on to him? And do you see them lasting through the season at all? Any chance?
I think he'll last through the season if they play well. If they lose by a touchdown or less and they show improvement, the offense shows. I mean, they scored 20-plus points last week. It's not like they only scored 8 like they did in week 1. If they keep on showing improvement and maybe keep it a close game, let's say a last drive by Allen and they win by 7 points or less or whatever, then I think they keep him. I don't know about for the whole season, but he has some leeway.
All right. Well, let's look at this total real quick on the game. It's at 50.5. I believe it opened up at 49.5. What's the movement that's happening, Raphael, on this total?
We're watching Thursday night football. There's no good baseball games tonight, so they want to see touchdowns scored on Thursday night football. I think that's why we're going to see 51. It's going to happen sometime soon. Just the amount of money, the teaser action coming in. I'm favoring over parlay action. I'm favoring over. They're betting Rice with the over on a game, the college football game. Yes, there is one college football game tonight. So I think this one goes to 51. So I would say grab the 50.5. I missed the 49.5. I got lazy. I got doing something stupid, probably doing odds for something I shouldn't be doing odds for. And I missed the 49.5. But this one will go to 51.
Robbie, do you like this game over or under that 50.5?
I kind of agree as well. I think it goes over. I'm seeing Bet365 has over 49.5 still available. So if you check there, I'm not sure what you might be looking at. I could be looking at the wrong thing because money lines, of course, aren't my forte. But I like it to go over for the same reasons Raphael. It's the only thing going on tonight. You want to see some excitement. I think most of these points are going to come from Buffalo, but you might get some garbage time TDs by Miami.
Raphael, is that number still out there on Bet365?
I see 50.5 right now for Bet. I have not logged on it yet, but on my screen it's still showing 50.5. But I just think we're going to see points, and I almost played first quarter over at 9.5, but the last time they played each other was 0-0 in the first quarter, and I can see Miami needs to run the ball. They need to have Josh Allen sit there and look at his screen and play on his phone. To keep him off the field. So if Miami can't run the ball, it could get ugly really, really quick.
Yeah, it definitely could. And that's going to be the biggest thing that I want to watch is how both lines are, honestly, moving the ball down the field. If for some reason we see Miami get stalled after stalled on that line, it could be a really, really long night. You might see that in the first quarter. Looking at the props, Rafi, I know you always have, where the money's going. You always can kind of follow the money. There's props out there. Everybody loves them. Is there any prop that the public loves tonight?
I'm going to give you a top 4 betting prop bets right now. And these are from BetMGM, DraftKings, and Boomers, which people don't know who Boomers are. It's a new book. And it's a new book in Las Vegas. One of my good friends runs it over there. He's one of the odds makers right there. So he sends me good inside information as well. And Joe in the chat, I'm going to say 3 nickels so I can cash the -$7. And Joe in the chat. Joe, go over to Circa and ask Rich Bachelari what he taught me. He's the one that made me say 3 nickels because I had to hear it 1,000 times a day when I was working at Caesar's Palace in 1999. So that's why I say it's just not a normal word that comes out of my mouth. But the most ones, James Cook, over 84.5 rushing and receiving yards. It's the number 1 most bet prop in all those 3 sites. Josh Allen over 28.5. We were talking about this in the break. Opened up at 24.5, got bet all the way up. Money's coming back on the over. 90%. There's one book, 99% of tickets written in this is Josh Allen going over his rushing prop. James Cook rushing yards is the third most one. And Dan, I couldn't believe this. I had to refresh. I actually had to text my boy Adam over at Boomers. Matt Praver over 1.5 field goals made is one of the biggest prop bets.
Yes.
I thought maybe he was pulling a prank on me because maybe he watched the show or something like that. He did not watch the show. Adam, how come you not watching the show? But it's going to be it's him for most field goals made, because I think people see the stat that you had out with Fantastic Stat, both games, 3 field goals. I mean, why wouldn't you bet the 1.5?
Yeah, exactly. And Miami, to go on that, literally, they've allowed 2+ field goals in the first week. They would allow 4. They did it 81% of the times last season, guys. I just think it happens again tonight, and especially in a game where the Bills like points. So why not? So, yes, Boomers, as Raphael says, call us. All right.
It's only in Vegas. You could call us Boomers, but maybe in a couple of years when we're all over the place, they'll be doing some consulting work probably for them, but
we're not expensive.
That's true. That's true. Good point. Very good point. For $1, like, hey, Boomers, we'll say your name.
We'll be friends. I've done worse for much cheaper, for sure. Robbie, does any of that surprise you at all about those 4 props?
No, definitely not. The only one I can't see, the James Cook rushing prop. I think he's going to get a lot of work through the air. I know that it's kind of been a controversial take, but he's gone over. And I think the last 3 games against Miami, he didn't have a lot of receiving yards last week. That's because the Jets didn't realize that you only have to run the ball against them. So I like James Cook to go over his receiving yards. I even like his longest reception. It's at 9.5 right now. I think he gets all of that on one catch.
Okay. I like
the only thing that scares me about that, if they get in a big lead, they're going to run the ball just to get the clock going, just to go home before it's a Thursday. No one likes to get hurt on a Thursday night football game. That's what scares me, a lot of these prop bets for Bills. If they go up 17-0 right away, they're going to get the practice guy running back, get some playing time because they don't want to get hurt.
That's Ray
the
Davis.
Thing is Miami plays a lot of 2 high safety, so that underneath stuff's going to be available. So I think the Kincaid and the James Cook props, I think those are smash spots tonight.
All right, well, make sure you go get them out real quick. Last thing, Raphael, first half Bills -7 at -110 over at MGM from Taj. Do you like it?
I do. I was looking at that, and I was also looking like a first quarter play as well. This is something I always say this. Some games are just a live bet game, and I want to see line of scrimmage. If Miami can have any kind of a run game, are they going to be just pushed around like they were in week 1? If they get pushed around, then first half Bills is a perfect bet. So I'm just going to sit back and live bet this. Hopefully it's stall game, and I can get a better number. But it looks good. But like I said, if it looks good, that always feels good when you cash it. You're not cashing.
If you're cashing, it doesn't matter. But yes, sometimes there are issues there because lines move and they look almost too good. It's almost like a sucker bet, and I hate those. Let's look around the rest of the league, though, whether it's college or the NFL. As we have you here and we wrap up this time with you, like, what are we looking at? Is there any line movement that we need to be aware of? Is there anything that's going on in your world that you can help us out? Make us smarter, Raf.
Tulane, Mississippi, a game. And so Tulane, let's face it, they've been the best football team in the state of Louisiana. And I know Big Chuck's probably giving me the middle finger right now. Hey, what about my LSU Tigers? No, Tulane, don't forget they beat USC a couple years ago in a bowl game. A lot of money's coming in on Ole Miss. I mean, I think they're telling me they're probably get closer to 13, maybe 13.5 at kickoff at a 3:30 game. This Tulane team can run the ball. If they can run the ball, that means Ole Miss is watching the game. I'm not saying they're going to pull off the upset. I think they can keep it around 10 points or less. I'm going to wait to see how high this goes because I'm looking to play Tulane. If I can get 13.5, I might buy it to 14, and now you have to tell me you have to beat me by 2 touchdowns. That's something I'm going to look for on that one. And then in the NFL, this is the last time I'm going to say this. I'm actually, no offense, DG, I'm actually looking for the Bears. I like the Bears in this matchup because if Caleb Williams loses, we're going to hear backup boo birds on this one because don't forget, they gave the backup quarterback a lot of money for a backup. Caleb Williams is not a Ben Johnson. He didn't draft him. He has no loyalty to him whatsoever. If the Dallas Cowboys go in there and run the ball and put some points on there, and let's say Caleb has a mediocre game, He might be gone. This is the last time I'm going to say I think the Bears win this game because let's face it, your secondary is awful. I don't care if you traded away your best defensive guy. Last time I checked, he couldn't play safety or cornerback when he was there. Their secondary is awful. So I think Caleb Williams can shine. If he doesn't shine, I hope he rented and he didn't buy in Chicago.
Wow, that would shock me if they got rid of Caleb Williams. Robbie, any chance that you could see that happening is the Bears move on from Caleb Williams if he has a bad game?
Yeah, I think I even mentioned it yesterday going over the Roma Doomsday prop. Ben Johnson looks at him with disgust sometimes, even from the sidelines. He doesn't shy away from it. I don't think he likes it. I don't think that's his QB. I agree with Raphael, and I think it's going to be a shootout. That's going to be a shootout style game. I think you're going to see a lot of points. Yeah.
All right, I could see that. I don't know what the point total is on that one. I can try to look it up real fast, but I could see this definitely getting into the 50s. And so let me go see if I can find it real quick, unless you have that.
It's 50.5 right now. It opened up at 50, so over money is coming. Not significant amount of over money, but it's a late game. It's a late afternoon game. We can maybe see a 51 game going on this one, but I believe it's going to be a high-scoring game because the Cowboys secondary, us three, can probably score a touchdown.
All right. Well, I need a favor. Go ahead, Robbie.
I was going to say, Raphael, why is the Florida Miami game still 7.5? What are people doing? Why is it?
I have no idea.
Okay.
They haven't watched Florida play football. I mean, Florida did hang around if it wasn't for 5 interceptions. But when your quarterback has a kind of rhymes with lag because his throws are lagging, I don't know why this number is 7.5. I think we'll see 8. I don't think we'll see 8.5 because right now a lot of teaser money coming in on Miami. I think maybe that's why we haven't seen that significant line mover because they're just getting parlay and teaser action. No one really said, hey, you know what? Give me the 7.5 for 11,000 to win 10 or something like that. We're seeing a lot of teaser and parlay action come in.
Well,
yeah, I know our defense has only allowed 2 touchdowns all season. Yep. But the problem is Miami, to me, is one of the better teams in the nation. They got 3 guys on that defensive line that's probably going to the NFL next year. And like you just said, I don't trust our quarterback play. Our coach's playbook is a picture book that my 3-year-old can read, so there's nothing going to go on there. I think Miami blows them out and puts the nail in Napier's coffin this weekend.
Hoping you're right, because I will pull this prop out because I already have it ready to go. Which head coach will be fired first, the Florida head coach or the Miami Dolphins? So that one's ready to go. It's in the chamber, and I'm just waiting to hit enter.
Wow. All right, we don't need that negativity here, Roth. We need to have a decent weekend from our Florida Gators. I do have one favor to ask before you get out of here. Today on the show, I announced that I wanted to have a friendly bet with Mikey P over the Bears or the Cowboys. He accepted finally. Yep. But could we get like a little some odds on who might have to wear the ice bucket on their head? And so we're going to video it and it'll be done Sunday. So the loser has to do the ice bucket challenge. So maybe we need some live odds and let the guys play on the show live on Friday.
I think you should make sure he has his Bears hat on when he has to do it. Something like that, and not like something like significant that could ruin something. I would have probably spiked up the bets, but I have to think about some good prop bets on that one.
All right, that could be fun. All right, Raphael, you are the best. I appreciate you coming in here. We're going to try to get Raphael on Thursdays. Some Thursdays, yes, he'll be available. Some Thursdays, he won't. So it'll be a surprise every Thursday, whether he's here or not. But Raphael, can't thank you enough, man. You are the numbers guy. We'll see you around.
Take it easy, guys. Have a great show.
All right, thank you, sir.
When the solar flare hit, we lost our humanity. You have a gift for acquiring treasure.
And what would I be hunting down this time?
Mona.
The Mona Lisa? We're headed to the worst place on the planet.
You're welcome.
How many tanks does this guy have?
That Afterburn movie is in theaters tomorrow. Go check it out. Why not? They support us, so we're going to support them for sure. Before we get into our wagers, there's people talking some trash about me and my ice bucket challenge. I didn't feel comfortable doing, mean things and talking, Mikey into having to do mean things or pay lots of money when the Bears lose. And so I thought a fun challenge that will, in all honesty, be good for video content on the show on Monday, so I can watch him wear his little onesie or whatever and take the ice bucket challenge. I think it's okay to do this challenge, right?
Yeah, better than the hot chip challenge.
Yeah, very much better than that.
You got off lucky, both of y'all. So yeah.
All right, let's talk about this game just a little bit more. We discussed, a lot of the game itself, but talking about how, we seeing it, play out within like the game script. How do you see this game playing out? Do we see just a runaway from, the Buffalo team? We see them controlling on the ground, throwing it to the air. Like, how do you see this game completely playing out?
Yeah, it's hard to put any stock in anything on Miami tonight, right? You've got Jalen Waddle, who's injured all the time, but he's injured tonight with a shoulder. You got Tyreek Hill, who, what world is he in? Where's his mind? When I was looking at Miami, I did like Malik Washington. I don't really like his receiving yards, but for him to get 2.5 receptions, I think was -120. There's no Darren Waller. There's 2 tight ends I've never heard of. And then there's the other 2 guys I just mentioned. If the Bills do get up big, I would like to see Malik Washington get some work, because at the end of the season last year, he was killing it. I think he had like 40-plus receiving yards games in his last 4 of the season. So Malik Washington, if you're looking at Dolphins props, would be one. Devon Achane, look, full transparency, every time I bet him, he gets hurt. So I'm not going to do that to you fantasy managers or bettors out there. I'll stay away from him. He would be the only other one, but I just don't know how effective he's going to be, because I think Buffalo runs away with it.
Yeah, speaking of Malik Washington, 24.5 is his line that I see. He had 20 in week 1 against Indianapolis, week 2 against New England. He had 2 yards.
Yeah.
And so
I'm looking at receptions, because he gets a lot of line of scrimmage passes behind the line of scrimmage. So I'm not sure how far he'll get, but I do like his receptions prop.
He's averaging 1.5. 2.5 is his line. It's juiced up at -140, but he's had 2 catches in week 1, 1 last week against who was that? New England. Sorry, I just forgot. But yes, that's kind of what we're looking at. If you're looking at Malik Washington, rushing, I'm going to go with something I am not going to target before the game. I am going to wait for this game to completely open up. But I'm going to go with Ray Davis. He is the backup, and so if I see that the game script is going to be where they're feeding James Cook, and James Cook is getting some runs, I'm going to look right at Ray Davis and see if I can still get the 24.5, that just makes me feel confident. But if it falls down to like 19.5, 17.5, that's when I'll definitely target it, because I think that this could be a game where you start getting going in the first quarter, second quarter on, they want to make sure they spell, James Cook with Ray Davis just to keep him fresh, but also, allow them to get, Ray Davis some looks and kind of keep some hits off of James Cook. And so a low number like that, anything under 20, I think that we can easily get there with Ray Davis in a game that they honestly should win. So I'm curious how that plays out.
Yeah, I agree, because, you don't want to get your best running back hurt, right? If you're already up big and it's the second half, you're going to give Ray give him some work. That's why I went with James Cook's receiving yards, because it's so low. I don't want to take his overs. Now, granted, he could take one to the house easily against this Dolphins defense. This is just a tricky one, because Buffalo spreads the ball out a lot. Right. You got Keon Coleman, Josh Palmer, who doesn't get talked about enough, Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid, and even Dawson Knox gets in there. So there's a lot of hands in that offense. They're always just a tricky team. Like even going back to last year, and they're good, so you're going to see them on primetime. So there's always having to bet them. And I always have to try to find a different way to get an edge on these guys. Yeah,
it's tough to bet Buffalo, because it could be Shakir's night where he's running right through the middle wide open. It could be a night where, they literally are just pounding the rock with James Cook, and then you'll see, Keon Coleman take off for, 40 yards, or a Josh Palmer 40-yard catch. You're just like, all right. And then they go back to pound the rock, score a touchdown with Josh Allen. That's just how they do it. And they're going to just kind of, I guess, put their will on you and just say, hey, listen, you're not going to beat us. We're just going to control the ball. And so I'm curious how this plays out. I'm curious how how Miami shows up. Do we see Tua just kind of look like a shell of himself, or do we see him get to Tyreek Hill and letting Hill and Waddle? Speaking of those two, do you see either one having a big game at all?
I don't. You may see Tua have an inflated line because he's throwing for his life at the end of the game. Tyreek Hill went over 100 last week. I think he's only done that in 3 other games dating back to last season. So there's something going on there. I remember when they first hooked up, you thought it was a match made in heaven, and now we're seeing the end of the divorce start to finally.
For sure. Scott Y likes Ray Davis anytime touchdown. That's plus 380, I know, on BetMGM right now. And so I'm curious if anybody will like that. Do you have any guy before any long shot? I don't want you to give me your primetime pay dirt yet, but do you have like just a long shot? You're like, hey, I can actually see this guy finding a way into the end zone.
I would say maybe Josh Palmer. That would be the guy, because right now his number is at around plus 300. He's
Correct.
the one that I think could actually get in. It would be Josh Palmer. That was when I was looking at this game, I thought maybe that'd be the guy.
I thought you were going to say Malik Washington. He's got a touchdown on the year. He's plus 425. And so I was curious. Or it says he doesn't, but it says he does on here. Doesn't make sense.
I'm looking at Doink right now, trying to figure it out.
That doesn't make sense. It says he averages 0.5 touchdowns on the season, but then it says he doesn't have a touchdown.
I don't know. I'm showing none. It's showing 0%, but it's showing 0.5. Like the line is 0.5. That's only 0.5 I see.
Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe that's why they're showing that. I have no idea why they would be showing. Confusing. Anyway, we'll see. But yes, I thought you might go with Malik Washington. I was trying to see if you would go ahead and go all eggs into your basket there. But we do have some props. Last time we did this, I believe we both hit ours. And I wouldn't say it was easy, but it was fairly easy. We're not on the same guy, but we're very similar. Go ahead and lead us off with your play tonight.
Yeah, I like Dalton Kincaid, 30-plus receiving yards. Got that at minus 110 at Bet365. And he's nothing but consistent against Miami. He's averaging 6.8 targets in his last 4 against the Dolphins, clearing this line in 3 of those 4 matchups. Tight ends have been successful against Miami. Opposing tight ends averaged 7.2 targets against the Dolphins over the last 10 games. And he saw an increased workload. His target share jumped from 9 to 24% from week 1 to week 2. Dawson Knox used to eat into a lot of his usage, but lately he hasn't been doing as much. So I really like Dalton Kincaid. He's cleared this 30-yard prop in both games this year with 4 receptions in each. And like I was telling earlier, Miami plays a lot of 2 high zone safeties. So they play a lot of 2 high zone defense, which that underneath is going to be open all night for Buffalo. Also, touchdown props. He's a red zone threat. He doesn't score a lot, but Josh Allen's always looking for Kincaid in the red zone. I wouldn't mind sprinkling on his anytime touchdown as well.
Well, speaking of tight ends, I'm going to go with mine. And yes, you talked a little bit about Dawson Knox. Well, I'm going to go over his receiving yards. It's at 12.5 at minus 118. And this is over at BetMGM. I looked, it's 16.5 over at FanDuel. And honestly, DraftKings doesn't even have it yet. So the 12.5 is a good number for me. But then I want to look at exactly the snap counts. And so that's where I want to see, is Dawson Knox on the field? And he is. And he's actually on the field 5 more snaps than we're getting a Dalton Kincaid. So he's on the field just as much, and honestly more, 5 snaps more than Dalton Kincaid. His target share is down. He's had 3 less targets on the season through 2 weeks than Dalton Kincaid's had, but he's cleared this number consistently. I expect another game, just everything that Robbie said about how Miami handles the tight end, the underneath, the 2 safeties that are high, they're going to allow these guys. He's on the field. He's going to catch a pass. We just need a 13-yard pass here. At that point, I'm feeling good about it. And then we'll both cash our tight ends. So I know that we're on the same, I guess, position, but I feel good that because these numbers aren't big, that they can both get there.
Yeah, same. And like Dawson Knox with his snap count, is that more just because of how they ran the ball last week? He's in there for a lot more for blocking? Yeah, but it's the Dolphins. I think we got this.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, he's gotten this 5 snaps more than Kincaid in so the first week he had 48 to his 43, and then he had 41 to his 36. And so he's literally getting 5 more snaps. For whatever reason, he is more of the blocking guy, right? But it's shown that he will get at least 2 targets a game. And so because he gets 2 targets a game, you only need 1 catch for 13 yards to clear that. But if you catch both, then you're obviously definitely in the clear because you're probably going to get at least a 7-yarder, out. So I feel good about both guys.
Yeah, I mean, with the game script and who they're facing tonight, point spread, I think that's a solid bet.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into some of this that we have over in the chat because a lot of people are giving some plays. Scott Y has Dawson Knox first touchdown plus 2,200. That would be big. Both these guys have only had one target in the red zone on the season so far with Dawson Knox and Kincaid. And honestly, Miami's, they're fairly stingy against the tight end when it comes to touchdowns. But I could see Dawson Knox or Kincaid both being the guy. But in all honesty, I think it's all a full run game. And so I'm curious, do you think either one of these tight ends can get in the end zone like just clearly tonight?
Yeah, because it always happens on Thursday. The guys you never think about get in first. So I actually don't hate that.
All right. Boogie says he likes Josh Palmer longest reception. Do you have any numbers on that?
I can. Just give me a second. I was looking at that too. And if you're looking for a passing prop, Josh Allen's longest pass, 36.5. Yep. Miami's allowed that in both games this season to Danny Dimes and to Drake May. So keep that in your back pocket. Josh Palmer, longest reception, has cleared in 4 straight games. He hit 32 in the first 2 games this season.
Sounds good to me. His line is at 17.5. And so just as I was talking about, it doesn't take much for them to move down the field, with them running the ball. And then all of a sudden you see Palmer run out for, 20 plus yards. He's a catch, 10, 15 yards down the field. And you're talking about, way over that. And so that's a good look, Boogie. All right. Anytime touchdown we have for Keon, for DeAndre Phillips, over 40 yards, calling your shot. So why not just go longest reception, pair that with a Keon Coleman anytime touchdown, fairly good money. And then we have Dalton Kincaid first touchdown plus 1,200. Everybody's liking the tight ends tonight. Yeah, so we'll see who we go with as we move on to a little prime time pay dirt. So let's go ahead and pick our guys and let's see who we have. And so tonight it is all about Devon 8. The other guys, right? For it, when we have for Buffalo, you could not put Josh Allen and you could not put James Cook because their numbers are just way too high. But Keon Coleman at plus 210, Khalil Shakir at plus 245, and then Dalton Kincaid at plus 285. So looking at these, Robbie, is there anybody you like on this list or going off the list?
Keon Coleman. That's who I kind of like the most off this list. Keon Coleman plus 210. He was the guy I was looking at earlier. He had a touchdown in his first game, but the Dolphins have allowed a touchdown to the wide receiver 1 in 3 straight dating back to last year. I like Keon Coleman plus 210.
Yep, that was mine too. All right, well, I am going to see if I can pivot because in all honesty, I don't like Shakir. He just has not been a guy that they go to. And Josh Palmer has really not had a ton. So I'm going to go look and see what their red zone stats look like. I want to see if anybody's getting any targets because it's been, run heavy. And so the first week it was 2 targets each for Coleman, Palmer, and Shakir. And then 1 for Kincaid. In week 2, Kincaid and Knox both got 1. Maybe we go with Kincaid. Like, I just don't trust Shakir. I don't trust any of the other guys. And so maybe this is a chance where we go with Kincaid and say, I'm going to go with it. So I don't know if he's the first touchdown, but Dalton Kincaid at plus 285 feels right to me. So we'll see. I haven't iced the 8 ball. I don't know if the 8 ball. We'll ask the other guy I like. Jalen Waddle. Do you like Jalen Waddle tonight? I kind of think he might get into the end zone.
I don't because he can't stay healthy.
Well, Mr. King 8 ball, do you think Jalen Waddle scores a touchdown tonight? It is certain. Last time I said it is certain, and I disagreed. This time you disagree with the 8 ball. He's going Jalen Waddle. I don't even know who Jalen Wright is.
Yeah, he plays for Miami. He's a running back too for Miami.
I had no idea. So no, I thought it was Ollie Gordon. So is he? I guess he is.
Jalen Wright. He's the RB2 listed at Doink.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. So so if you're looking for a guy to maybe spell a chain and get a plus 1,200 for just a touchdown would be a good one. We have Buffalo Bills defense, as Todd says, the first touchdown. I don't even know what those odds might be. Let's go look at those. You have those anywhere? I can't even find them.
I do not.
Bet MGM. So Ollie Gordon's anytime we got to go to first touchdown. I am on first touchdown. I thought. Nope, I'm not. All right, here we go. Over here to the first touchdown. And Dalton Kincaid over here is plus 1,300, which should be fun. Jalen Waddle's plus 1,800. Knox, 2,200. Buffalo Bills, plus 2,800. And Ollie Gordon is plus 4,000. So maybe that's why we're looking at that with that one right there. Who do you say? Jalen Wright? Plus 8,000. Get out of here. I really think that it's Ollie Gordon is the backup now.
It's been a battle. I guess I think he even put in the chat. Yeah, Gordon is the backup to Wright because Wright was hurt.
Don't believe Mike.
Wright's healthy.
He cheers for Caleb Williams. Don't believe Mike. Believe me.
Trust me, I'm running back desperate. Only reason why I know that is because I've been trying to find some kind of running back to bolster my fantasy team in our weekday wagers league, and he's not available.
Well, we have this right here from DJ. So they drafted Wright last year. Everyone thinks he is faster and better than A-Chain, but he isn't. LOL, which is
A-Chain's a beast. A-Chain's a beast, man. It's just
I like him.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to this one real quick as we're kind of looking through a little bit of pay dirt. Looking at these, I want to ask you the question from Nonsense McGee has here. There's a bet on 365. Waddle and Hill both over 75 receiving yards for plus 800. Is it worth a sprinkle, Rob?
You need both of them to get 75?
Yep. Both have plus 75 plus.
No, not for me.
Not even worth the sprinkle.
Not for me. I would rather sprinkle on a first touchdown prop or something.
Yeah. Is there any parlays that you have put together already? Because I know you're always doing them, and there's some free ones in there. Is there any pieces that you like put together?
Yeah, I've put a few. One is like a bankroll builder, and the other two are a little larger. So I have a James Cook, 10 receiving yards, Malik Washington, 2 receptions, Dalton Kincaid, 20 plus yards, and Josh Palmer, 15 plus yards. And I got that at plus 340 with a profit boost at FanDuel. So that's the one I think I like the most.
Say that one more time.
Yeah, James Cook, 10 plus receiving yards.
Okay.
Malik Washington, 2 plus receptions, Dalton Kincaid, 20 plus receiving yards, and Josh Palmer, 15 plus receiving yards.
I like it. If anybody else has
plus
one,
340.
Yeah, plus 340. If anybody else has one that you like as well, we'd love to look through some of these plays. If you just have one play and you want us to kind of target it, or if you have other stuff you want us to take down, I'm curious. Boogie had one earlier. Bills point band in play for tonight, 31-40 or 41-50.
So their total points have to be between these numbers. Is that correct?
Correct. That is correct.
I'd probably shoot for the 31-40 because with it being a short week, if they get up big in the second half, I think that could cover easier than the 41-50.
Yeah, I'm going to go look and see if we can find out exactly where in the world this would be at, because that would be the only thing is if I'm looking at totals.
DraftKings, I believe, has that.
Yeah,
Pretty
because
sure DraftKings has it.
I'm looking on BetMGM and I do not see it. So if you're still in here, if you want to go ahead, Boogie, and share where you found that at, so people want to find that, I'd love to see it. But I don't see on here. It doesn't have it. It might have it. I just can't find it. But I'm looking in scoring props and looking to see if there's any other point bands, but I don't have it in this one right now. So because of that, we'll see. I do have a question. I just saw this one. Shortest touchdown. You have over 1.5 yards. So obviously 2 yards or more, plus 130, but under 1.5 yards is at minus 175. Any chance you like that?
Not with Josh Allen, because I think that's the key, right? Josh Allen taking it in from like 3 yards out, or Josh Allen taking it in from the goal line. I wouldn't play it. But yeah, it's interesting. I've never heard that bet before.
I hadn't either, and that's what I was just looking at it. But the 1.5, the reason that's one, right, is because you will be at the 5 or the 10, honestly, anywhere on the field, and you have a someone to pass interference on the defense in the end zone. The ball moves up to the 1. And so because of that, that's why that is there, because you can easily get any kind, like you could be on the 3 and get defensive pass interference. They move it up to the 1, and there you go. The only thing you hope for is they score on that one, so they don't move it and take the penalty. That'd be the only.
I can't imagine what that number is for Philly whenever they play with the tush push.
I bet it's minus 500 because they know they're getting it to the 1 yard line for sure. All right. Anything else that you have your eyes on? Obviously, I'm not paying attention to any of the college game tonight, with Rice and Charlotte. But as Scott White, any home run plays, any baseball plays, anything that you like at all? Or is it Thursdays? We kind of just back away from baseball.
Yeah, Thursday is just NFL for me, and then gearing up for the weekend. I'm just digging all into the NFL right now. Boston and Oakland are playing, or Oakland, Sacramento, whatever they're called. They're playing right now, so my team's not even going to be on tonight for baseball. So, yeah, it's just all football for me.
Yeah, same. And I've completely went away from baseball just because my thing is if I'm not all the way in it, I just kind of back away because I don't know what's happening. Within every game, there's a lot of these players, in all honesty, and I'm very honest. I love baseball and I follow it very closely. There's a lot of these players because I'm so far out. I don't even know who they are anymore because they're bringing up some of these young guys. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to stay away. I'm going to be smart.
It's crazy how that happens, right? You go all summer just ingrained in it, and all it takes is 1 week away from it, and it's like you've just forgotten everything. At least that's how I feel.
100%.
Like I don't even know what's going on sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm ready for hockey. So my Tuesday and Wednesday I've got covered.
Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday will be hockey filled very, very soon. When does the season start?
I think it's October 10th, maybe. I can't remember the exact date, but I know the Preds start their first preseason game this weekend. I think they're playing Florida this weekend. So
yeah, and the NBA starts October 24, 25, somewhere around there. And so everything's gonna get started, and there's gonna be a lot more happening for sure. We do have nonsense, and we'll end the show on this one. All right, let me know if you like it. I'm going to read it off for you. We're going to go Tua. He's going to have over 1.5 rush yards, so we just need 2 or more. Josh Allen going over his rushing line, which is obviously the most bet of 29.5. We're going back to Tua. We're going over his passing yards of 237.5. Dawson Knox over 1.5 receptions. That kind of scares me. And then we're going to go with Tyreek Hill over 5.5 receptions, Cook over 85.5 rushing and receiving yards, a plus 4,000, no sweat. Which one doesn't hit?
Josh Allen's rushing yards because everybody and their brother's on that play.
Yes. That's how it always is. The public is so on it. So it'll be that one that doesn't hit. I like it. Nonsense. Plus 4,000. You can talk me into anything plus 4,000, especially a sweat. It's probably a very, very low number. And so I say, why not? Let's go have some fun. But that's all we have. As Scott says, go ahead and hit the like button on your way out. Always fun for sure. And it helps us out and makes the show better. Tomorrow we have the Friday special. We're going to go NFL Overdrive again. If you played last week, you better get better because I'm in the leading spot and you are second. So Mark, he's going to have to lick his wounds and come back because I don't care if he gets beat by the chat as long as he doesn't beat me, because I will make sure we keep Mark pushed away because we're the prop guys. We have to stand out for sure. But as always, very good to hang out with Robbie here. Very good to hang out with you all there in the chat. This is the best chat in the business. We're the best chat in the game. So thank you all. Can't thank you enough. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.